We are out the other side of Cyber Week. So pre-Thanksgiving to Thanksgiving to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday, Small Business Saturday, everything that was encompassed, we're going to call it Cyber Week. We are out the other end of it. So this is a review of some emails that stopped my scroll. So after the event, I like to go through all the masses of emails and just scroll through and see what worked, what was trending, what people were doing this year. And I found some really good ones. So let's get going. The first email that I came across and really loved was actually sent on the 24th, I think it was, of November. So a few days before they were starting their Cyber Week event, to tell people to prepare. Now, this was quite a common thing you see at Black Friday. We get a lot in the build up of our offer is coming, get ready, get your basket ready, save the date, whatever the wording is. We see a lot of these emails. This one in particular stood out to me because they were doing a lot. So it was 20% off site wide, plus a free gift, plus a surprise offer every day of the week. And they did this last year, and it can feel overwhelming. So, if you're going to have a lot of offers or deals or different deals every day going on. So what Rare Beauty did really well is lay that out before the event. So this is what the free gift is, with so free puffy traveler tote over offers of $125, free puffy essentials pouch with your order over $75. So okay, they've laid that out for us. Then they've gone ahead and told us what each of those daily deals is going to be. So we know exactly on what day what the offer is going to be. So, and visually it's very pleasing to look at as well. So we're quite clear then on, right, we're going to get 20% off site wide plus a free gift, and each day this is what the deal is going to be. So if you, for example, have a particular product in mind, you know which day you're waiting for to shop. And then down the bottom, we've got even more ways to save, and then kind of sneak peek at the end. So I think this is a really clever way of laying out offers when they are perhaps a little bit more complex. Into Black Friday then, and I saw a lot of neon. There was a lot of neon going around, a lot of glitter as well, like kind of gold and shimmery. A lot of GIFs. This was actually a GIF at the top, like a scrolling GIF. There was quite a few of these this year. The reason I quite like this though is during Black Friday, there are a lot of emails that are banners and buttons and very little copy. And that is quite effective because there's so much email. People are scanning like I was, they're being quick. This one kind of stuck out for me because they had used a lot of those trending pieces. So they had a GIF, they had the neon, there wasn't a lot of copy. And although not always being a massive fan of emails that are very button heavy, I felt they did this quite well. So there's a button right up there with Black Friday shop now. Then there's the kind of, if you're in a particular category button, if you've got a particular budget in mind button, and then again another more general shopping button. But they're all quite different. Like they've got that kind of contrasting color, but we've also got different layouts for each of them. So although there's very little copy, it's more buttons, it felt very well organized and very well presented. When I was speaking to people during Black Friday, that Black Friday Cyber Monday week, one of the things that was voiced quite a lot, so a kind of, this isn't necessarily a trend, but an observation of what people were looking for in Black Friday this year. A lot of people are voicing that they liked free gifts rather than the discount. And that was something I did find when I was scrolling through my inbox this year. There was so many 20% off, 30% off, 40% off that when I came across emails like this that were a free gift, so this is a free personalised t-shirt worth £45 for orders over £100, that stood out because it wasn't a discount, it was, an additional. So in my brain I was like, oh, I'm getting a bonus here, I'm getting something extra. This email is particularly well done as well because I love the colours, but they've also laid out really well here. So although we've got in the headline what the offer is, it's broken down even further. Spend over £100, add any of the t-shirts below to your cart. The price of the free t-shirt will be deducted at checkout. So it walks you through the steps of having to claim that free t-shirt. So it's really clear. This is from a smaller business. So I particularly love this note, in addition to kind of just the offer is that, I am not Amazon. I'm just a one woman, her machines, and a bloody good playlist. So I loved that the offer was strong and stood out, but she also tied in her personal story to this email. So this was hitting a lot of points for me. And then we've got kind of some of the t-shirts that you can claim in that bestsellers section at the bottom here. I mentioned that I was seeing a lot of GIFs, and they're obviously quite popular year round, and they are particularly eye-catching when you get to a busy inbox. This one, for me, was the one that made me stop. So straight away, we go into the GIF, and I think the positioning of this is so clever. The fact that it's large, it's bold, and the movement, but the positioning of the way she's kissing and blowing the kiss towards the VIP treat headline, I think is really well thought through. There's nothing particularly different in this email. It's a 15% off with their code, some category sections, some products that we might want to click. But what stopped me was really clever use of the GIF. Then we come into a couple of, I don't want to call them anti-Black Friday emails, because the two that I'm going to show you now are very much were doing a Black Friday offer, but the way they approached it was slightly differently. So this is a brand called Rent the Runway. As the name suggests, you can rent high-end clothes from them instead of buying. The offer they were running was 50% off site-wide, and the messaging they used throughout, so they sent several emails very much in this style. They were always instantly recognizable when you opened them, but a lot of their messaging was skip the buyer's remorse this Black Friday. So they were playing on the fact that a lot of us perhaps are spending money we don't need to during this time, or perhaps we'll spend money on clothes and then later wish we hadn't. With them, you are renting it and returning it, so you're not going to have that buyer's remorse. Then World of Books, using that kind of buyer's remorse angle as well. In this case, they buy from you, so they buy used books that they then go on to resell. And during Black Friday, again, offering a deal, they're joining in, they're going to pay you 15% extra on all the books that you sell to them. And the messaging they've got here is, overshopped this Black Friday, bought a bit too much, turn clutter into cash, scan your books, sell in seconds, and pocket extra money while making space for your new buys. So really doubling down again on the fact that as those parcels start to arrive and we realize we might have bought too many things, we can get an extra 15% off on returning and recycling and reusing some of our existing things. And into Cyber Monday. This is from Four Sigmatic, another of my favorite brands, and I love their emails. This actually was sent the night before, so on the Sunday evening. As you can see, it says Cyber Monday starts early, and that's what they mean by that. This one was great fun because they did a lot of emails during that run up to Black Friday and during Black Friday weekend. So this was a clever extension slash transition into Cyber Monday, done through design predominantly. So very similar to their Black Friday emails. However, you see there's almost kind of like a little scribbling out here, a little sticky on there saying Cyber Monday starts early. We've got the same down here. We've crossed out the Black Friday deal. We've got a new sticky with 40% off and another one with the final day. So this is obviously the end of their kind of Cyber Week coming up tomorrow. The other thing I think that does cleverly is the transition from the Black Friday into their kind of Christmas campaigns. And it's done very subtly, but Cyber Monday fell on December 1st this year. So there's little hints kind of in the foliage here and further down of Christmas coming. And we've got another offer here. 'Tis the season for free shipping. So yeah, just some really clever hints throughout this email, taking us from Black Friday to Cyber Monday to Christmas. And talking of Christmas, this one came during the Black Friday weekend and had absolutely no mention of Black Friday. It is shamelessly Christmas, the most Christmas-filled email I have seen so far, which is why during Black Friday weekend it was the perfect time to send it, because it stopped me in my scroll and delete straight away. Again, Lazy Oaf, amazing emails throughout the year, but they've really doubled down on the design and their copy in this email, and it's a true gift guide in here. So gifts under £35, 50 gift cards, gift sets, and then a partnership they're doing with Guinness. So a really beautiful email, really cleverly done, and really importantly sent, in my opinion, at a really good time. And last but certainly not least, Never Fully Dressed sent a Giving Tuesday. As with most of the brands I've already mentioned, they were sending through Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I saw a few brands do Giving Tuesday. It's always a lot less than kind of during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday. But this one was really nice to see, because they acknowledge that it's a moment to pause and give back and make an impact. So they were acknowledging the day, but they also went really into what they do year round. So who they've collaborated with throughout the year, and previous years, and why that is important to them, and by extension to you. And this stood out so well as a contrast to all the consumerism throughout the previous week. I didn't see, one of my favorite emails to see is almost like a thank you from the brand after all that kind of that period. I haven't seen any of those yet this year, but like I say, the Giving Tuesday feels really important and almost like a bit of relief after Black Friday. And that was my whirlwind summary of emails that hit my inbox this year that stopped me in my scroll as I was reviewing and deleting. I hope it gives you some idea for design or copy or strategy that you could be using to really differentiate yourself from other brands.